last week, the last thing I talked about was let me get this out of this way. Was last Sunday? I think, yeah, literally it was here, and it was right here. I was waiting for the daily close to basically exit all my longs, and then I didn't, and then I lost a lot of money, and I blame my friend because we were golfing. But on some real shit, um, you guys remember the first target was originally 98.5 to 100K, and we did slightly front run that. I think we didn't even tap 98K, at least not on this chart that I'm looking at on Coinbase Spot. Um, but I think pretty much across the board, we didn't even tap 98K. And then we just nuked down from there. Now, I even remember saying when I was in this long that I was going to start looking for shorts back down because, as you guys know, I always do hedge. In any case, whenever we hit a key level, and I never did. And the thing is, I ended up entering these longs. This is what I was going to talk about in the video, right? I entered a bunch of these longs on like Bitcoin. I entered some on ETH, um, right? Doge, Sol, all this shit, right? And I first off, I remember someone pointed out the weekly close. Um, this weekly close was total shit. Like it put us back in this range here from like 84 to 93 because we didn't actually close above 94.5 or 94 like 94.1 I was really looking at. But even on the daily, right? And this is something I want to make super clear. This is why I kind of provide all my charts because the the way price moves, at least the way how I trade, right? I always talk about how, right? If you, let's say, this is what we were looking at here, right? On Sunday, literally, this was on the stream, right? We break back through. So at the time, right, you had the SR over here at 93. This is the resistance, right? It flipped, right? You got the retest, and then we longed, right? Back over here, the same thing happened, right? This was then resistance, which flipped to support. So this support was broken through. It flipped. It offered the retest, and this was proper entry, right? This was proper entry, and I talk about this all the time, right? You guys remember back way back here on ETH where we took the long here, where we originally broke through the SR, we got the retest forming a lower high, and then eventually price carried out to our next area of interest, right? 3350 ish. So same thing here. Price broke through. We got the retest. This is where you open the short, close all the longs, right? And then target. This would be targeting down here, range low at 84. Um, I didn't do that. I was too busy fucking golfing and losing money and getting stopped on all my longs. But that is
Mm-hmm.
something. What? Yo, fuck you, fag.
Sounds like you.
Yeah. Anyways, that is
Are
something I
you
want to make.
recording?
Yeah. I'm recording. I'm recording. Shut up. That is something I want to make super
Holy
clear.
shit.
That's something I want to make super clear, right? Because that happened on every single fucking chart. If we look at ETH, I even remember like I was in a short here. I think I was in a short over here, and I literally got stopped out by $1 on one of these fucking candles. I don't remember which one it was. Um, but ETH came back to resistance here, and like anyone that follows me, like just because I don't post a trade doesn't mean like it's not the proper trade. You know, if you follow me, like you should be shorting range high back down to range low, right? Um, Same thing for Sol. Like we literally moved from range high to range low, right? So I just want to make that super clear. Like that was a big error on my part. I was very bullish because I basically wanted to move, right? Like if we have our higher time frame plan, I basically wanted to move from let's see, middle of January, right? And then choppy chop up to like 104, 107K. And I actually kind of like, if I look at the VIX, funnily enough, we actually did peak. Like we got our mid cycle peak here, our spike. So ideally, this probably gives us one more peak somewhere around early February, and then probably gives us some nice relief leading into the rest of the month. And the other thing too is like Bitcoin can still, for all intents and purposes, this is still very choppy chop. Like there's not a lot going on here. Um, and Bitcoin can 100% come back down here, sweep this low at 84, and then chop back up to 100K, 104, 107K. That's definitely still in the cards for me. I still have my same invalidation, which is where if you come and sweep this low at 80K, I don't like that at all. And I would definitely think that price then would just follow through with the retest and then sweep down here around 74K. So personally, I don't want to see that low taken. But until proven otherwise, right, we are now back chopping in our range here, right here. And I'm on trackpad, so bear with me. But order flow should be coming back from 93 all the way back down to 84. Now in VIP, I did provide this short here where we broke, we flipped the SR here, offered the retest, and then I shorted it all the way back down to 2800. And then I also longed here. I gave this long, which I posted, I think, a couple days ago. This was the only long I'm looking at before we sweep range lows again. And the reason why is because you guys also remember I talked about in crypto, right? You have all these lows building up this liquidity curve. And in crypto, like in TradFi, again, like these lows are instantly punished. So you would not have had this expansion up. You would have just had the sweep and then expand up. And you guys also remember that when we got the initial pump here to 94, we came back down to like 89. I was expecting a sweep and then the aggressive pump up. We didn't get that. We just pumped. So this was kind of an obvious long in like the sense of, okay, we're taking out this liquidity. If price is going to bounce before it comes down here to 84, 83-ish, it's going to be here, right? So if price fails to provide any sort of significant bounce here, then it's just going to come right back down to 84. So that's kind of my recap for the last week, which I'm still going to record a video and post it for people that missed the call or don't want to like rewatch this. But yeah, in terms of like my current thoughts on Bitcoin, I still do believe that we get the nice period of relief out into February. This, in all intents and purposes, is still just chop on the higher time frame, in my opinion. In terms of a flag, so I don't see why price can't come back down here, sweep like 83, 84, and then chop back up. An invalidation of that idea, in my opinion, would be taking out this low because, like I've said, I do believe that if price takes this low over here, it is just going to offer the retest and then follow through to the downside. Speaking of USDT, this, let's see here. So wait, what was the weekly close? 646. USDT, actually now looking at like our long here, I will be watching this very closely because most likely USDT just pulls back to, I don't know, 6.3-ish and then follows through to 6.5. We didn't have a weekly close above 6.5, which is good because if that happened, I would have been very bullish on USDT. If we had a weekly close above, flipping this and then continuing up to 7.4, but we didn't. So perhaps we do this, right? Don't know. My confirmation for moving down lower is still the same as it was a month or two ago, which is you break down here and sweep this low at 80K, would also certainly have USDT wicking up to 6.7. And if we did, and there's any sort of daily closure above 6.7, that is confirmation that 7.4 to 7.8 is the next target, which is why, again, my biases would be this, right, if we took that low. For alts, okay, this is the other thing too. So people are talking like, people don't agree that ETH is the strongest coin, and they're just shitting on ETH, saying that it's incredibly weak. And the thing is, let's see here. Yeah. So this is the thing, right? Besides Sol, um, every single alt looks like Doge, where it's trading below its April low. Okay. Sol is really the only alt that I track that is trading above or pretty close to its April low, right? ETH, on the other hand, in the higher time frame perspective, it's trading far above its April low. Okay, so on the higher time frame perspective, ETH is by far the strongest coin. That is just a fact. Anyone that says otherwise and says ETH is weak is they're not zoomed out and they're looking at the 15-minute chart and they're retarded. But ETH is factually the strongest altcoin on the market right now. With that said, the 34, like this area up here, is now resistance, right? So price comes back into here, just take a short down until flipped and proven otherwise. Like you're just going to be shorting this area, in my opinion. Like even if Bitcoin comes back to, like for me, I have this long coming back to right around 90K. Price can come back and visit the yearly at 93, but I don't really see it. I'm not gonna lie. So that would probably bring ETH right up here to like its local resistance. Sol, let's see. Sol, sorry guys, I haven't done charting in like I literally have not opened my trading views since pretty much since last weekend. Let me see. 118.87. Oh yeah, that is not good. That is not good at all.
Oh yeah, so I was
Yeah,
looking at that too.
yeah,
That's pretty shit.
yeah. Okay, nice. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't even touch Sol. I'm not even gonna give a trade thought on Sol. This looks like complete shit. If you're not short from up here, I would say like I'll chart Sol off call. Um, your best bet, I would say.
Here.
Yeah, I would say is yeah. Literally something down to the yearly. um, I don't know. I'll post like a Sol trade, but I mean, first off, actually, another thing about it, if you take this, you would extend it all the way down because there would be a bounce at the yearly, but not something to sustain a reversal. I certainly don't think it would bounce back to entry. The other thing too that I am retarded for is I started scaling out of my Sol short that I had from 170. I don't know. I'm just such a fucking retard. Um, you don't have to agree with me.
Hey buddy, you got faked out.
Yeah. That's fine. Hey, the long sprinting though. Let's go. Recovering all the money. So
But that's good because you have your short from all-time highs.
this is true. I can't lose on
Mm-hmm.
some for real shit though. Doge, like I also said, came back, tested the imbalance of the impulse. This is now its current resistance around 1.12. And just like I also have said on the lower time frame, right? So wick down, retest, short from here, and then just follow all the way down to the next key area, which is right around right between like 0.113 and 117, right? So yeah, I'm sorry guys, like I haven't been on. I'm not gonna lie, like I've just been like golfing 24/7. Not gonna lie, I've not been looking at the charts like at all. Um, but yeah, those are my thoughts. Basically, like it was very easy to see the invalidation early on over here. So again, moved up to a range high, which we kind of front ran actually. Like I was targeting 98.5 and it didn't even hit 98K. Moved back down. It flipped the then support into resistance. It offered the retest. Proper trade is to would have been too short, cancel all the longs, and to short this. The other very important thing is USDT. So this is something that I don't know if I pointed out in the VC or on stream or somewhere. I don't remember what I did, but On the daily, right, we had the break a structure. So we flipped the 5.8 support or resistance, this flipped to support. It retested, right? And so what should have happened, right, is you get the retest and you should got the follow through back down to 5.4. Like this is the next logical area to target. That didn't happen. We then flipped this back. And then obviously price is now carrying back through to most likely 6.6, right? So this is also a very clear confirmation that Bitcoin was not going to chop back above 93. It was going to continue to back down to 83K. Yeah, that's kind of it.
Okay, what's up, guys? Tac just broke the record for the longest stream. It's amazing. Now I don't have to hold anymore. All right, BTC. I don't know if you guys watched my video, so I'm just gonna recap the video, honestly. Uh, I tried to get some feedback for it, but no one said anything, so I'm gonna assume no one watched it, unfortunately. Uh, so you guys, this was the high time frame plan that I was looking for past months. I was waiting for, I wanted BTC to reject off one of these lines, get a short, and then we take it down to 70K. Um, Daily closure above 94.2 equals 98.4. Daily closure above 98.4 equals 102, right? So we got a daily closure above the 0.32 fib, meaning we should have got the 0.5 fib, but obviously we didn't, and we front ran it. I don't know if we front ran it, but we definitely missed it by 500, 600 bucks. So that sucks. Not in shorts, unfortunately, but I do believe we'll get a lower high. So now that our wave 4 is in, that means that we should be getting our final leg down to finish our bigger A, which is my target is um, pretty much this, like 67, 70K is gonna be my target. And after 67, 70K, I think we can get an expansion, right? I think we can get a minimum like 98, which I'll go over in a second. So let's say we get our 67, 70K and our A is done. Now we can measure the whole length of our wave A to calculate how far up B can go. All right. So if we calculate the whole length with the fib, so let's say we pull it down to 67K, even 70, just try to give a little boost. 70K, that means we should get a minimum retracement to 92K, right? So 92K would be an interest for potential big shorts. And this would be your bear market. Here would be your bear market bottom, which is well, yeah, here at 52K. Or you would get a push up to the 0.5. So you would 50% retrace this entire downtrend, right? 98K. And if you hit above 98K, then you get 105. But above 105, if we somehow flip that, then you would get very worrisome, and you would expect that the 67 70K low was like your hot time frame macro low for the cycle, and then you could actually be looking at a new all-time high now. I don't think that we're looking at this. If we are, then if we are, then our count is looking something like this. But I don't think so, honestly. So this is my current count. It can be updated if it's invalidated later on, but right now it's not. So gonna stick with the plan that I've had for months. Moving on. Now low time frame for Bitcoin. Okay. Yeah, right now we just pretty much plummeted from the top. Gone through some key levels up here. Retested. Yeah, we retested this 4 hour. This line that I've showed you guys. This line has been amazing. If you guys have been watching it ever since I showed it, you know, what, almost 2 months ago, it's been putting in good work. You can even see how it SR flipped it here again, rejects, wicked, stay close below. I was looking a little higher for shorts and didn't hit, but oh well. Longing Bitcoin, this was a very long right here. Why? Because well, if you look at it from a wave perspective, um, let me move this down. Yeah, we have our 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if we calculate our wave 4 length, we can get the projection of our wave 5. Usually I look for the 1618 as the wave 5. I don't tend to look for 1272, but it has hit it and it has bounced. It's a valid minimum target. So yes, we could just fly, push up from here, flip the 4-hour MS and then go up to weekly open. Um, I don't want to do that yet because I feel like we should sweep at least previous day low. I was looking for that once in daily candle open, but kind of just pushed up. Now, what else could be happening here is um, if our wave 5 is in, then our other confluence could be this range, right? You guys should know about this range. Um, we swept all these lows, okay? We got a 4-hour failed auction, like a 4-hour fake out, right? On 1 hour, it's a clear failed auction. Not confirmed yet. Um, if we get a 4-hour close above the Valerie low, so in 2 hours, if you get close above a like 87K, then honestly I might take it long. My SL would be below this wick right here, this 4-hour wick. So let's just go 1 hour quick or like 30 minute. So let's say we get a 4-hour close above. We will look for a retest of the breakout, and then your SL would be what? Where's the wick? Yeah, here. SL on this wick, and your TP, my TP will probably be what? Retesting. They even go higher from here. Honestly, if we can put in a support, I think we can push up like 9350 TP1, honestly. And if we flip that, then you have your 91.5, flip 91.5, and then you have, I think we can go to weekly open after flipping 91.5. So, this potential, it's good 10-hour trade. I don't know if it's gonna play out. We'll see what happens. We're gonna need some entry triggers, some confirmation on time frames. So it's an idea for a long. Um, if we do fail this, I'm looking at this, right? So, you can see we're bouncing support again after sweep count is lows. We've hit this fib support. If we, again, playing these fib levels level by level, if we got a closure below this, then again, I would look for, previous month low that I posted on my channel. And this would be like your long interest here. Ideally you would want to see a sweep of previous month low. Your entry trigger is going to be like the 1 hour. So if you get a 1 hour SFP, um, that could be your entry trigger. I would honestly like a second hour, so like a double candle SFP, right? So your first candle, it approaches, right? Your first candle hits sweeps the level, and then you get another hourly candle. Let me delete these. Another hourly candle that sweeps it also, right? So you get like a double sweep. Make sure it closes above, and then on your third candle, that's your entry, right? So you get your entry, let's say it's on the previous month low. Your SO is below the wick, and your TP1 would be here now because you've SR flipped this level, so you're gonna need to RS flip it again if you want to go higher, right? So your TP1 would be here. So this is a idea. Um, if we do not hold 86K, I do like that idea, but it does seem a little far. But we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's um shorts. Yeah, this could be my bigger short. If we can push up this, yeah. Again, if we can, start flipping these levels one by one, then yeah, we get up here like 92.8, 93.9K, right? We would finally fill this wickless weekly that we have, which is pretty insane that it's left like this. It's like, I mean, first time in, I don't know, literal years, years probably. I haven't been able to find one. So if anyone can find one like this, that's literally flat to the dollar, 000, go ahead and let me know. But I haven't been able to find one. So that's the first time it's happened. So it's like a 99% chance this doesn't happen, right? It's pretty crazy. So, anyways, I do expect this still to get taken. So this could be your this is actually this is gonna be your previous week high, which is kind of funny. That's a flat one. So yeah, marks as your previous week high, and now you know looking to short once you sweep the previous week high. You want to keep close below on 94K on the daily, right? Um, or even like 94.2 again, right? We could bring back these fibs that I had. Um, I don't have it anymore, but you guys should know what I'm talking about the 94.2 level. If we do get a daily closure back above it, and then you would be worrisome again. If we flip that, then okay, maybe we could get another all-time high push. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's pretty unlikely. But there's a lot of liquidity building above us, right? So, if we check the liquidity maps, um, let's go to 3 day. I think 3 days should be. Nope. Let's go on 1 week. Even 2 weeks. Okay. All right. There we go. So yeah, in liquidity maps, you can obviously see in the 2 week, um, past 2 weeks, or no, you can't count this. You have to go on a higher time frame. But in the past 2 weeks, you can see that there's been a lot of shorts, right? There are shorts at this level right here. There's hundreds of millions right here. And then if you flip this, again, this is like you flipping the levels that I just went over. You flip this, and then you're targeting this area, right? You're targeting 95, the previous week high. And then if you flip 94.2, right? Previous week high, 94.2, and then you can go for 96K, these liquidations. Just those just add some nice confluence to it. But if we do, stretch out on a 3 month, and then it will show the liquidations down here. Um, there's still pretty hefty amount, but yeah, I do think these will get taken eventually. Again, I'm still bearish. My bearish plan hasn't flipped. But let's move on to USDT real quick. USDT. I just posted this in my channel. So, you know, this was the high time frame you know, count that I had going on. And it's playing out. You know, you have your wave one here, your wave two, and now you're looking for your bigger wave three to end, right? So within your wave three, it looks like we have gotten your wave one, two, three, your corrective ABC. Now your four is put in. Now you're looking for a wave five impulse. So to calculate the wave five impulse, you can measure the length of a wave four, right? So you measure the length, and you kind of see how what is this level? Oh, we don't. Oh, this is wave three end. We don't need this. Oh no, we don't need this. Okay, I'll go runway one. But anyways, so let's say you calculate, your internal wave three four. You can see how your levels are up here at 1.618, so 7.4%. Maybe 7.8%. Now to confluence with this, if you calculate the length of wave one and two, which you would calculate this to get your projection of wave three, it also aligns, right? It's aligning right in the same area. So, you got that double confluence that you're targeting 7.4% minimum. Um, Internally, for this target to be a hit, you're looking at, I'm looking at this right now. So, um, moves up here. We got in wave one, two, three, four. Now we're looking for an internal five to be completed. If we come below 6.8, then I think um, right here could have been your five, and then we're gonna retrace, and now we're gonna get this. We're gonna measure the full length of our wave one, which is this green wave one, I put a line on it, right? So you're gonna measure the full length of your gradient wave one, and if you measure it, you'll get what? Uh, 0.32 as your shallow retracement, but a wave two is a deep retrace, so I look for 6%. 6% aligns with pretty sure aligns with our previous weekly high. 5%, almost. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see once price approaches what happens. But yeah, I am looking for something like this, and then you'll get your expansion higher, on to complete that bigger wave, macro wave three that I just talked about. Yeah, right. So moving on, that's the macro target first. ESDT. Solana, you know, on every chart we pretty much got the same downtrend concept, right? We've put in our corrective wave up here, and now we're correcting downwards. So we got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now projection, measure 4, you get your projection of 5. You can see how we just hit valid levels like to the dot, right? So this is a very valid level. I was looking at it, but I wasn't too assured that it was gonna hold. So it didn't take long, but you can see how it is playing out very well, and this is a very valid wave 5 target, which means that it's a very valid wave A end, and we should now get a retracement, minimum 129 BCS like weekly or previous week high. Ethereum, same thing. Ethereum, you're doing like what you did on BTC, so you're hitting your minimum target of wave 5, but I was looking for lower as I did Confluence with the previous month low. Maybe New York Open, we can get like a sweep. We could still get this and push up. It's possible. We'll see. But yeah, if we do get reacceptance back into our range, this one, then I would look for, again, a long side SL. Mm. Oh yeah, and then yeah, and these shorts, once if we're able to get these shorts in, previous week high up here, then I would definitely be targeting, yeah, again, 67, 70K. Mm. All right, I think that's it. Wasn't too long. Oh, let's go over to CME gaps to see. I haven't checked these yet. CME gap here is pretty juiced. If a little tech go on the 5 minute, you get a more accurate version. Now you can see how it's placed on the 1 hour, and there's still gaps missing, right? Place a little bit lower, place a little higher. Well, yeah, like this pretty much. So 3% gap is pretty big. Another little tech that you could do, let me redo this. If you put a middle line, it should be extended. Hold on. If you put a middle line, you're going to see that, you know, CMEs can show rejections. It's almost like an FEG, right? So if you do FEGs, you'll know that, there there's a middle line in it. It's when you fill 50% of the imbalance, and then you can push down, right? Or you can RS flip it, right? It's like another key level. So it's the same thing with CMEs, where you can fill 50% of the imbalance and then push back down, right? Um, these key levels I have here are actually something interesting. If you look at these key levels, they're actually previous CME gaps, if I'm not mistaken. Um, are they? Yeah, so you see how this was a previous CME gap and it's still supporting. Was this one? I don't know. Yeah, this was a previous CME gap, and even it's still, showing reaction. It's kind of crazy. This one up here, still, RS flipping, same thing. But yeah, so you have a CME gap here. So I have a 3% gap. It's pretty big. It's pretty big. You will usually take those pretty easily. We have a smaller one up here, you know, but it's like a $600 gap, I think, or a $300 gap, which isn't too crazy to focus on, but it's like it's an intraday gap that you could look at. You know, if you caught it, like let's say you caught it quickly. You know, we're gonna go on the 5 minute to place correctly. Let's say you caught it quickly. Um, you can see how you could have taken, you know, some shorts off the middle line. You know, just how I explained it. You could have took shorts off the middle line. Your SL would be like above this high probably, and your TP, wherever your TP would have been. Yeah, that's it for pretty much the main coins. These alts are pretty nice though. I've been going over